Bearcat Bounce Podcast. Back at it again. Monday. That's right. Victorious Monday. www.monday on the bbp.com. Monday. Excitement, man. Excitement's brewing. For the first time in Big 12 play, I can officially say we have a BBP following 3 victories for the basketball team. So we'll be talking about that Monday. BBP Monday with my 3 favorite pals in the world. That's right, Monday. Monday also where invitees to the NFL Scouting Combine Monday as well as we get even closer to an exciting finish to the college basketball season Monday as well as the baseball team with an opening series victory Monday. You know what, man? It's happiness. Oh, Monday following Valentine's Day weekend. If you had your other that you went and had fun with, I am in love with winning and married to the game. So that was my Valentine's weekend Monday. So without further ado, I'm going to bring everyone in though. It's time to get this thing rolling. So Mr. Aaron Smith, Mr. Chad Brendel, Mr. Ryan Royer, gentlemen, how are we?
Good. Still recovering a little bit from a long weekend in Bowling Green, a little volleyball action. Yep. Had went to a very romantic Valentine's dinner in Bowling Green at Wing Station.
Continue.
Unbelievable. So good.
Making out with those
so
wings,
good.
Man. Sauce the lips.
I had the Jamaican jerk. Liz had the sweet chili. Oh. But the star of the show was the fries. Oh my God, the fries were so good.
Okay.
Thick cut. And then I got queso and bacon, and she got Parmesan garlic. And then some desserts that were outstanding. So find you a girl. We had 2 options, okay? We had 2 options. Okay. Tony's Steakhouse was in the hotel that we were in. Good steakhouse, excellent food.
Trash.
Or wings, and she picked wings.
Good pick. So,
what a trooper.
You hear me out here.
Oh, by the way, the other thing they had. Oh, one other thing. Okay. They had mini jugs of like homemade Kool-Aid.
Oh, wow.
That was part of your meal. Is you got a mini jug of Kool-Aid.
No free ads, but
Wing Station in Bowling Green. I think there's some in Louisville too, actually. But remember when you were a kid and you made Kool-Aid like by yourself for the first time? Okay, and you put like the whole thing of sugar in it?
Oh yeah.
That's how it was. Like when you drink it and you like, whoa. That's how it was.
Sugar. It was more sugar.
It was outstanding. And the girls, they had a really good Saturday, won their pool, won all 3 games on Saturday. A little bit of a rougher Sunday as the competition level skyrocketed, but you know, had a good weekend in Bowling Green.
There you go. Volleyball dad, rocking the world, Bowling Green, Kentucky. A little bit of fun weekends right there. I'd love to hear that. Hey, okay, ranch or blue cheese with the wings?
Ranch, always ranch. Okay. I have a blue cheese for some reason. I want to like blue cheese, Brent.
Yep.
Blue cheese stays in the back of my throat for like 3 days after I have blue cheese.
Oh.
Like it's just like you burp and it's like, oh God, more blue.
Okay.
So I can't really do blue cheese.
Okay, we'll pass on the blue cheese. I mean, hot take here. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of blue cheese when it comes to with wings, but when it comes to with pizza, I'm ranch. If that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe not that hot of a take, but blue cheese stuck in the throat multiple days after consumption. I think I'm going to pass on that. So good choice by you. Hey, Ryan, Aaron, dial in a little bit. Blue cheese or ranch, please. Quick answer.
I'm ranch. I said, man.
Ranch.
Okay.
Team ranch.
Okay, team ranch. Do we like our ranch runny, like pizzeria style, runny ranch?
Give me some thick ranch. Come on.
I'm good with either.
Hidden Valley boy.
Thick, too
I'm
sweet.
gentle.
Oh, I'm runny. Give me that runny. Oh, baby.
All right.
Drink that back in college, man. Golly. Freshman 40 hit me like a brick wall. Aaron, my man, how are we? How was the weekend?
It was good. It was fine. Went to where did we go? We went. I got my first pedicure. We did his and hers pedicures.
Oh yeah.
I'd never done that before.
What color did you go with?
Yeah, what
Yeah, I
color?
didn't get a color. Fuck out of here. But
Caleb Williams
then
does
we-
not approve.
then we went to a little restaurant on a golf course and had some brunch and some little cocktails. I had a little speakeasy set up
Right on the
downstairs
tail,
in the
right?
basement of this place.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was cool. You said light on the tail. What's wrong with you?
Where is this located again?
It was in Lancaster, kind of in between here and Columbus. So
You saved the candle wax for Brent and I.
Hmm.
We like to reuse that.
wrong?
We're recycling. We're recycling.
I don't
dude.
doubt that you two like to use wax on each other.
Not on each
Awesome,
other.
right?
Why is your mind going there?
Bed
Brent and I-
knobs and brews.
Brent and I
Nick.
make our own candles.
We
I don't know
do.
why
I
your
bet you
head's
do.
going-
Yeah, we do.
I bet you do.
Regurgitated in the
This,
freezer.
this scent of the month, Brent, you want to
Yep.
reveal it?
You know what? I cannot yet. The month is only we're a little over halfway. We'll reveal on the next BBP when it is 4 straight Big 12 wins to open a BBP. Unbelievable. But yeah. Yes, fresh scent will be out February 25th. You can find it in stores online at RyanRoyer.com. All right, Ryan, how are we, man? How was the weekend?
I'm doing well, dude. Had an absolutely romantic Valentine's Day with my buddy. We played Fortnite and we drank Labatt Blue Light. And that's all I'm going to say. Nothing else happened. We just
Okay.
enjoyed the beer. Nothing romantic besides our lips against the crisp aluminum.
Oh, nothing better than that.
It was a good weekend. Bearcats game. Shout out Jake Borman for the tickets. It was electric.
Boom, Electric City. That's right. Yeah, Valentine's Day in the past. Just like Bearcats victories, 3 of them. They are currently in the past. Thank you for asking, Ryan, how my Valentine's Day was. It was good. Let's see here. What did we do? Oh man, so exhilarating. I can't quite remember what I even did. Oh, I went to a nice little Marker 24 restaurant. It's a little nice on little like marina type restaurant, all by myself with family as well. So yeah, there we go. Ryan and I, yes, fantastic. Need to take our cars to Danco Transmission Auto Care. Find us if you want to
I
be.
did. I was there
Okay.
Wednesday. I was
Okay.
there. He got
Story
the
time.
Tacoma going well. We
Okay.
got the tires rotated, oil change. I mean, you can't get it any better than Danco.
How's
Took great care of me as always.
Joe is there?
Joe was there. I didn't get to talk to him that much. He was busy in the office. You know, when you're CEO, your phone's always hot. You're always solving problems. So, but he did say hello.
Yeah.
Got to check in. He's had another grandbaby. So big congrats. Beautiful grandbaby. But
Hey,
I got to say hi and bye.
There we go. Shouts to Joe. Last time I saw him, dude was looking fit as a fiddle. The man has he's been telling me he's been working out a little bit. Good to
looked
see
great.
Joe getting after it. Yep, there we go, man. So head over to Danco Transition Auto Care. Mention Caden Pierce going to Purdue randomly. Alec Pierce's brother, as a lot of people have been mentioning on X.com, the Everything app. Mention Chad Brendel. Mention Jerome Tang. Mention Aaron Smith. Mention Ryan Royer. Danco Transmission Auto Care will get it fixed up. It'll be $10 off your next oil change, 10% off the next fixing at Danco Transmission and Auto Care.
We have one other thing I want to talk about here real quick before we get started, Brent.
Ready.
Our good friends over at Cincy Shirts, who we have, done some work with over the years. A little bit of a rough patch at Cincy Shirts. So I've been working with Josh Schneed to do something to be able to help out. Here's what we're doing.
Okay.
Bearcat Journal circle logo merchandise. Hooded sweatshirt, $45. You can get it in red and black. I really like the red. Like, that is crispy right there. The Bearcat Journal red. And they've got the t-shirts in the black and red. All you got to do, I'm gonna put this up right now for everybody. Boom. Up in the top right corner, left corner, there's a QR code that'll take you to the landing page. Okay. And you can pick up either a t-shirt or a hoodie or all of the above. And I'm not taking any money for this. No money is going to Bearcat Journal here. This is just to help out our friends at Cincy Shirts as they go through a little bit of a rough patch. And there you go. Scan that QR code. Go to Cincy Shirts. Get you a Bearcat Journal t-shirt or hoodie. How about Josh and the guys at it's a Cincinnati institution. They've been around for a long time. A lot of great stuff. While you're there, maybe do some shopping, get some Red stuff, some Bengals stuff, whatever. A lot of great stuff. But help out our guys at Cincy Shirts and get you some BCJ merch.
Boom. There you go. That's what I like to hear. I love it a lot. That's a good-looking attire as well.
Fantastic. That red hoodie. I might have to. I'm going to buy one for myself. The red hoodie. It looks sharp.
You're gonna have to. And you know what? Shouts to you figuring out all this cool stuff on StreamYard. The QR code. How about that?
Yeah.
Golly. Hit the YouTube feed. I feel bad for you if you're checking us out on Podcast Network. And boy, oh boy.
Just go to cincyshirts.com and you'll be able to find it.
That's even better. Because you don't want to look at our mugs. You can just go to Cincy Shirts and skip that part as well. So, but speaking of what our mugs are about to do here in the Cincy Light Studios, we're going to talk about 3 straight wins. Wowzers. First off, the win on Thursday seems like, it is so weird when you have 2 games in 1 week and they both end up in W's. The one feels like it happened like weeks ago, but the Kansas State win, just an absolute demolishing, led to the firing of Jerome Tang, pretty much, if you will. The old Mick following the Xavier brawl. No one will be wearing that jersey come next day. Obviously 2 different kind of scenarios there, but absolute drubbing against Kansas State, leading into this past Sunday's game where things were a little hairy. 65-60 with under 2 minutes left. You're starting to think, oh gosh, the walls are closing. Things are happening again. That makes me sad. Utah, who hadn't won a road game and who knows when, looking to take down the Bearcats. And then, of course, 9-0 run by the Cats to close that one out. Missed free throw by Utah. Cincinnati takes advantage before you know it, closing a game out with a victory. Yet again, I get the chance to pass it over to Chad Brendel, who was not available. He was volleyball dad in it, so he was not available in the aftermath. But a quick turning of the tide, closing a game out for a change this year. The first time that they've been able to do it all year in this type of scenario where the victory goes their way. I mean, is this just taking down a team that's not very good in Utah, or can we put a little credence behind the resiliency to kind of stare this in the face and come out on top?
I think it is something that, as time has gone on, this team has gotten better at. I still don't think they're good at it by any stretch, but they have gotten better in late game situations. What have we talked about the entire time when we've talked about the failures in these situations? It's 2 things. It's getting stops and then rebounding at the end of the stop to take away the other team's ability to close out a game. That's what they have failed to do a bunch of times. And then they run good offense on top of it, especially the play to take the lead. Just a great pass from Celestine to Baba for the dunk that put Cincinnati up for good. But, you've got to be able to dig in and get stops in the final 4 minutes. And if you do, well, they didn't for the first 2.5 minutes, and that's how the lead ballooned to 5. But in the final 90 seconds, they dug in, they got stops, they closed the possession with the defensive rebound, and they were able to score it pretty quickly on the other end. That's how you win close games. It's really Not that difficult. Like you want to go back. How did Mick and Hugs win all those games? When you got late under the final media stop, they dug in and they kept your offense from functioning. They rebounded the basketball and they gave themselves a chance to win games. And that's what they did. Now, some of it, of course, is Utah's not good. That plays a factor, but that hasn't mattered at times. They've failed to get stops in late game situations against bad teams, and it's kept them from winning games. So, they were able to do it this time. It was about to be a real bad drive home, Brent.
Why?
It was the end, the second game of the day, the second match of the day. Kelsey's team was clearly better, but they were, 5 games in 2 days, making a lot of unforced errors. They looked a lot like the Bearcats.
Yep.
And we were sitting that was closing out second set. They were about to get swept, and UC was down 5 points with 90 seconds left. Like it was about to be a really pissed off ride home. They still lost, Kelsey's team.
Right.
But UC did come back to win. So, I was still upset about Kelsey's team. It's a happy medium. There some good, some bad. And I didn't have to deal with a really, really angry message board and Twitter feed after losing to a team that had not won a road game in over a year, 13 months or whatever it was. So dig in, get stops, be the tougher team, do the little things, and you can win more of these games down the stretch.
Yeah, a team that was 1-11 in their last 12 games. I mean, yes, clearly not a good team, but they've been in a couple of these games, a handful of them, if you will.
They play teams tough. They're just not good enough to finish.
They're not. But yes, the resilience side of things, being able to come out on top. Ryan, you want to pepper in a couple of thoughts. Obviously, Aaron, fantastic job with Keegan yet again on the aftermath. You always knock it out of the park. But Ryan, your glaring takeaways following this one.
Yeah, it was
there, right?
It was surprising to see Utah out rebound us with how bad they've been struggling this year. It did feel kind of like it was good that they kind of slayed some demons by coming back and finishing a game, but it doesn't feel as nice when it's against the worst team in the conference, a team that's been struggling. I think we found a way to play down our competition once again, like we've been doing, like with the West Virginia type, not a very good team, and they've ended up beating us twice now this year. But just finding a way to win against a bad team, keeping the momentum going was, it was a pleasant sight to see. It hasn't happened much this year, and 3 wins in a row is always a good thing. So
it was so funny.
It was almost about to be, like Chad said, just an absolute tragedy. Just another way, like going to that game. It's like, all right, yeah, we're going to win 3 games in a row. We're going to take care of a bad team at home. You look up at the scoreboard, you can't even believe your eyes there with a minute and a half left. But making the plays, in crunch time, it's a lot easier against a bad team, but you still have to make them, and they made them. Thank God.
You want to know what I was laughing at?
Obviously.
So Kelsey comes down. I have the Duke Syracuse game on the TV over in the other side of the room.
Right.
And I wasn't thinking, but she sees Syracuse and immediately is searching for Tyler Betsy. Right. So she walks down and she's like right at the screen and she's staring and she finds him and he's playing defense on the right baseline. And she points at him, and right as she points at him, a Duke guard just drives right by him like he was a traffic cone for a layup. It's like that's
predictable.
The Tyler Betsy experience right there.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is then, everyone's talking about Syracuse, and I since we're on the subject, they're getting trounced right now. I didn't see that, but they had a big win against SMU over the weekend. Had another win last week during the week. It's just beat Cal as well. just very puzzling that how top heavy these conferences are, especially the big three conferences out there, where it's you have 6 or 7 good teams in each conference. The SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10, and then the other ones are just pretty trash. ACC as well, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's
trash, the ACC.
Yeah, the whole thing. That's talking that. Yes, I agree, Ryan, with what you're saying. Where, I mean, Utah, it would be so what we had become accustomed to over the last couple of seasons, where you get a little bit of momentum going, you have back-to-back wins, you score a bunch of points, your offense is highly efficient, and then you just lay a dud at home to a bad team. But nope, that wasn't how this one ended. This one ended in a victory. Go ahead.
This is the big thing that the Wes Miller era has missed, Brent, is if you're going to be good, if you're going to make it to the NCAA tournament, you have to win on nights when you don't play your best.
Right.
Like, and there hasn't been enough of that. Generally, if they play well, they win, or they're very much in a position to win. But on the nights that they don't play well, they basically have no chance. They can't get it across the finish line. They can't grind out a win where the shooting might not be there, or some nights the defense might not be as good as usually expected. And this is one of those things we haven't seen enough of over the last 5 years. Is the team doesn't play well, you're allowed to win those games.
Yeah.
You're allowed to get a W on a night that you didn't have your fastball. Right. Sometimes you got to win with the changeup and the slider.
Yeah.
And they found a way to win when the fastball wasn't working. They relied on the changeup. They went to the curveball a couple times, and slider in the 9th inning to get across the finish line. But that's been one of the major problems with all of this. Mm-hmm. is finding a way to grind out a win when you don't have your A game. And they did that yesterday. They didn't play well. It was a really annoying game to watch. Like, they were not good. No.
It was an ugly game.
They won.
Yeah. Ugly game against, pretty ugly team, obviously.
Yeah.
And a puzzling game as well, because you go back-to-back scorchers from deep. You have your season high of 16 made three-pointers in the win at Kansas State, and you follow that up with a season low 15 three-point attempts. It's just kind of a weird back-to-back scenario, and I don't know if some of that has to do with, came out that Jizzle was sick, and he was the one that was kind of the ringleader of that scorcher, him and Jalen Celestine. So both of them were cold from deep. So I don't know if that played into the hand of then the whole team not even attempting too much from outside. I just was kind of a weird scenario there. Anything to go that you saw, Chad? Or I mean, you don't splash 11 threes and then 16 threes and then only attempt 15 the next game unless something different is going on.
I think they felt like they had a significant advantage at the rim, which they did. I think a lot more of the focus was getting the ball in the paint, getting the ball at the rim, and trying to score there as much as possible. And look, like, this is just not a team that has enough great shooters to shoot like that every night. There's going to be some ups and downs. It was very critical that they did not rely on it on a night where the Celestine was cold. You could tell shot was flat, didn't have the arc. You could tell he wasn't on target basically on the first one, where I think he missed the rim entirely, didn't he? I was watching on my phone.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell if he nicked it, but missed it off the side of the backboard. And then Jizzle was sick. Those two guys were the ones powering your big shooting nights.
Yeah.
And didn't have it. So they relied more on getting the ball downhill, getting the ball at the rim. And, Aaron loves when they take a low number of jump shots if they're not shooting it well. If you're shooting it well, fire away. I think Aaron's big problem, we've joked about this forever, that he hates the three-point shot. No, he just hates taking 26 threes when you only make 4 of them.
Yeah, that's gross. You talk about them getting downhill, and they did a little bit. I still would like to see more of it. You still had plenty of pull-ups.
Okay,
Those
but
pull-up twos.
that's you continue to want things that it's a 2-point jump shooting team.
And it was
You
an
can
improvement.
want it,
I
poop in one
and
hand
I
and wish in the other, and see which fills
look,
up first.
and that's all well and good, but we wanted to see more out of Mustafa Cham rebounding. We saw more out of Mustafa Cham rebounding. I've been talking about that all season. So maybe I'm adding more things to the wish list. I would like to see far less long twos. I probably hate the long two at this point more than I hate 3-pointers. Because it's just really a wasted shot. You're not getting any 3-point plays out of long twos, like ever.
Yeah.
So I would like to see them at the free throw line more. I would like to see them attack the rim more. They did attack the rim with Mustafa Cham quite a bit in the win against Utah, and you certainly needed it because Celestine, I don't know if it was just his shot was off or if he's sick, as everybody on the team seems to be sick again. Jizzle James was sick, so he only shot the ball 5 times, and kudos to him. I think I told Keegan in the aftermath, that's a maturation of Jizzle James that we have not seen. A lot of times we would see him try and force it up or shoot through a bad shooting day. Instead, he facilitates or does other things on the floor, moving around and trying to get the ball to guys who are open, as opposed to trying to shoot through it. And again, I think that was just good to see a growth step from Jizzle James in that regard.
Yeah. And Wes numerous times in the presser was just like, yeah, Jizzle played bad. Jizzle did not play well today. And that he was just sick gutting it out. You know, obviously in the midst of having Kirk Kriisa being out again. You know, the uptick in minutes for Keyshawn Tillery has been good to see. You know, obviously him splashing in a couple of threes. Only 8 made threes in conference play, but he's shooting over 40% with those 8 makes in conference play, which is very small, you know, sample size number. I'm not going to really harp too much on it, but it's still good. You know, it's better than a lot of the team has been shooting in conference play from deep, and even on that low of attempts and makes. So
he's also not afraid to drive.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that's just his game. But
agreed.
I hear what you're saying about like wanting Day to drive more, wanting Jizzle to drive more. And I think everyone that is a Bearcat fan has been saying that for 3 years now. And at this point, that's just not their game. It kind of was Jizzle's game his first year. It was kind of,
it was Day-Day's game his first year.
Yeah, but it's not really ever
he
been
couldn't shoot the three.
Like drawing contact and getting to the line is like didn't really ever seem to be their games. Jizzle on that little run as a true freshman, but even still, it just was. It's a scenario where you see that uptick in minutes out of Keyshawn. You know you see the Buck Harris getting a little less minutes in this one as well. Just, you know, different ways to win games is seemingly what's taking place. But hey, in the end, the name of the game is winning, and up to this point, they won 6 out of the last 10. And over that stretch, this is a good question for you guys. A little fun trivia. You know, Chad, that fun thing over at bartorvik.com, you can sort the data, you know.
Yeah.
Sorting the data over the last 10 games. Since then, it's like January 14th or something like that. So a little over a month of gameplay. Guess where Cincinnati ranks according to Bartorvik over that 10-game stretch in the country?
In the country or in the conference?
Country.
35th.
Okay, good guess. Aaron, Ryan, bartorvik.com, last 10 games. Efficiency, kind of like Ken Pom, but you sort the data. 10 games. What you got, Aaron?
Is offensive efficiency?
No, it's just overall.
Just overall. Maybe 28.
Okay. All right, Ryan, finish it out.
23.
Oh, you guys are all over at 27. So, Aaron, you win. One off.
Go, Aaron.
So 27th in the country. They're 6th in the Big 12, in front of BYU. They've been playing well. Obviously you sprinkle in some games that you should have won. It just, we were talking about it a little bit off air. It's what's the whole saying again? If and buts were candies and nuts, then it'd be a great Christmas or something like that. Yes, if you would have won the games that you probably should have in certain scenarios, and you're probably talking about a bubble team, and you're not being laughed at when you bring up the team being a bubble team, and you're probably talking about potentially making the NCAA tournament and not being looked at and laughed at and frowned upon for even mentioning that whole crazy mythical big dance that everyone likes to go to. It just sucks because obviously the team's kind of right there. They played well, and now it's a scenario where, hey, you won 3 in a row, and guess what? It's happened each time that they've won 3 in a row against Big 12 teams.
They've lost.
They've lost the next game. Obviously, never gone 4 straight wins against Big 12 opponents. It's a heavy one on Saturday at Kansas. Recent success, though, guys, is it kind of just a scenario where the chips fell, where they had this little stretch against teams that were beatable and they were able to kind of trounce them, or is it the team is maybe coming along at the right time?
Maybe.
I mean, the problem here is they could play great the next 2 games and still struggle, not win, get beat by double digits. Like, you're playing the 2 top 15 teams in the country. So, you can play well and not get the result you desired on the road in both of these games. I mean, honestly, if we're being like, I think most people would be shocked if they get a win at Fog Allen Fieldhouse or in Lubbock. Lubbock's a tough place to play. Some would say it's hard. It's hard.
Now, we did pull out a victory there 2 years
What
ago
I've heard.
against Pop Isaacs in the Red Raiders.
Flop Isaacs.
Floppy Isaacs. Yeah, and Aaron, you're saying maybe just finding the stride at the right time. It just like a team that has a top 5 win against Iowa State, and they are 6 and 7 in Big 12 play. You should be talking about them a little bit more this late in the season, but obviously what happened outside of that, no one is talking about.
I mean, I told Keegan it was almost a frustrating win on Sunday because yes, you do get things right, but you brought up the point where you go back and you just start thinking about games you should have won, games that you were in the driver's seat and you just pissed down your leg. And you also wonder, is this what happens in the era of NIL where some teams, it just takes them half a season or longer to finally start to gel? But you can say what you want about Wes Miller and these boys, and people have plenty on all ends of the spectrum. They have not given up, and that's certainly commendable.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's obviously a tall task to try and go out there, but I mean, Eastern Michigan, hell, Xavier, hell,
Arizona State,
West Virginia twice,
Virginia twice,
Arizona State, West Virginia twice. I just every single one, but that's just how these things really rank down. Where if you are dancing on that little wanting to join the bubble, you can't have any. And because the main thing, like, look at TCU, for example, with the wins that they have, Florida, Wisconsin, obviously Iowa State, you should be like, wow, that's a bona fide tournament team. But guess what? They lost to New Orleans. They lost at home to Notre Dame. It's a tough line to toe where just don't have any horrible losses. Win certain games that you should win, and win a couple that maybe you shouldn't win. And then all of a sudden you're right there. Doesn't seem too difficult to make the tournament, but yet here we are. Yep, agreed. 1-9, quad 1, not good. But you look at all the bubble teams, pretty much that's what everyone's looking at, is not very good in quad 1, but not having that quad 4 loss is kind of what's keeping those teams afloat. So be interested to see, obviously, a week off. One of the big chatters after the post-game presser was the Jalen Haynes talk. Chad Aaron, obviously big slime at just getting practice in, but the update is kind of what to be expected at this point, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if things were in a better place right now, they'd try to bring him back, but you'd still be in a situation where you could be doing wrong by the kid because there's a very real reality that the only way he can get another year is if this year is a medical red shirt.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't medical red shirt this year, he's not going to get another year. And you'd be jeopardizing, an opportunity for him to make a bunch more money. And two, what are the odds that he even makes it back to the best form of Jalen Haynes after, a dislocated patella or a broken kneecap or whatever the heck it was in September, October, whatever. I think it was early October. Like, that's just not, I don't think it's doing right by the kid. So you're at this point, he hasn't played. It would be a disservice to try to force him back into the final 5 games of the regular season or whatever it is. And it just, the timeline was always going to be very dicey at best, given his injury, whether he was going to be able to make it back or not. Where things are, it just makes sense to let him try to retain a year of eligibility.
That's it's kind of that gray area of like the game cutoff weird thing in the beginning of the season when they get hurt, let's not play anymore and get that medical red shirt. I don't know if that's like the same as we only played 6 games, but it was at the end of the year. I don't like that side of things, but I think you got to take all of that into account. There's no doubt about that. Shanabayev, obviously, Wes mentioned how it's important to get this stretch to get everyone healthy and whatnot. I imagine that'd be close to knocking on the door, getting him back to play. I'm sure probably midweek Wes presser would reveal a little bit more on an update there.
If I haven't gotten word yet that we're having one. I imagine we would on a bye week.
Right.
But it's just going to depend on how much activity they can get him back to. A high ankle sprain is never an easy one to come back from. Usually they'll make you wait an extra game. Now, what we don't know is, would that game have been the midweek game? And then the extra game is Kansas, because there's not a midweek game this time. They are going to have a chance to try to, as much as he's able to go, try to get him back up to speed in practice this week. So we'll see.
Let's wait. And
I would guess we'll get game time decision, and then we'll get the availability report right before the game that says out. That would be my guess.
Okay. Well, any way you slice it, it's 3 straight wins in the Big 12. Year one, it was kind of the bridge between the Big 12 and the end of the year. Back-to-back wins against West Virginia, and then a win against an injury-riddled. I'm not even going to mention that. Nope. A win against Kansas, the Kansas Jayhawks. Bearcats beat them by 20 to get 3 straight Big 12 wins that year. Followed up with a loss against Baylor, who was really good that season. The following year, last year, obviously, last win was against Utah. Wow, surprise, surprise. Went on the road, played Iowa State pretty damn well, if you remember that game at Iowa State, but ended up being a loss. Obviously, Iowa State was good. Now this week, a chance to win 4 in a row for the first time at Kansas. So anything more basketball-wise, guys?
It's got to win at Kansas. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's so easy.
As long as you're not number one.
Yeah, those stats were crazy. Last week that were brought up. What is it? Like 39-0 in Big Monday games for at Fog Allen for Bill Self, and just all the random ones that they were bringing up. I think one of the number ones that they played was Cincinnati, I think, at Fog Allen or something like that. Number one thing last Monday as they were bringing up, but either way you look at it, what was that answer? St. Louis. Yeah, we'll just say St. Louis. But if you guys have nothing else for basketball, I guess we can timestamp this and we'll riff.
I really don't have anything else for basketball. I think
Roy, you got anything
we're
else,
good.
bro? Nothing. No. All right. All right.
All right. That brings us to the timestamp brought to you by Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They service over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom, baby. Quickly, before we dive right into this riff, and I want to mention that I just really enjoy this time because I get to spend it with that guy right below me, Ryan Royer. My man, take it away.
What do you guys have the over under set? Whoa, here we go.
Let's go. We're back, baby.
This is Valentine's Day right here.
It's valid, baby. Should we touch tips?
Yeah. Oh, what? Come on, we're almost there. Oh, it's so close.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, brother. Okay,
felt so good.
Yep, I was right there with you. All up in you there. All right,
man.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's go. Bring it to us.
The fun injury hypothetical. Over under 3.5 wins if you have a fully healthy Bearcat squad the whole season.
Ooh. Like additional wins? Point. 3.5 additional wins? I think the easy one is obviously Eastern Michigan. Like, you should beat them no matter what. But if you have a fully healthy team, I think you win.
Oh, sorry, 4.5. I forgot about Eastern Michigan game.
Okay.
I think Jalen Haynes takes you over the hump against Xavier. I don't think the kid who went off goes off with Jalen Haynes in there, but
I didn't think about that, Josh. Jeez. I'm sorry to those people. I'm sorry to those people. They didn't get the visual there. That you needed a visual.
Yes.
We touched fingertips for those of you listening on the podcast forum. Yes. Chad and Aaron removed themselves, and it was just Ryan and I, 1-1, side by side. And earlier in the pod, Creep asked if we were going to touch tips, and we touched fingertips, as it was just the two of our faces on the screen. So there we go. Explanation is done. Nothing weird about it. That is simply what happened.
Oh, it was weird. It was fucking weird. Let's make
I
sure.
thought the cameras were off. I thought we were just having a little special moment there.
It was a special moment, and I'll remember it till the day I prosper. So, but yeah, back to the question. Eastern Michigan obviously is one. What was the other game that was like really injury riddled? I feel like was it West Virginia? Kind of. Chom was out in that game.
Yeah. I agree, Matt. Make it stop. I thought this was a Bearcats podcast. Oh, it is. Unfortunately, it is.
That was our Patreon segment.
Yeah. One of the West Virginia ones, I guess you could use that term for. I don't know. I still
under 4.5.
I would say under.
Maybe 2 or 3 additional wins.
I think 2, maybe 3. I wouldn't go over. But the problem is 3, and you're probably in the tournament conversation. You're on the right side of the bubble right now.
Think about EMU. Think about the 2 West Virginia games.
Xavier, Arizona State.
Arizona. Like obviously it doesn't mean, but you take some of those, you might win the Houston game with Big Hines in there.
Houston home game. The weird thing is like just how different does the team look in general with just, but I mean, injuries are happening all over the country.
Yes, that's the thing. Like somebody's going to get injured. Somebody's going to miss an extended stretch. Like, you have to be able to overcome that. It's very easy to say, though, like, look, if the 3-man big man rotation was Baba Miller, Jalen Haynes, and Mustafa Cham, yeah, this could look like a much different season. But that didn't happen.
No, I know. I just thought it'd be a good.
I know, but you got to be able to overcome it, and they weren't, especially early. And I think they have found their footing much better of late, especially once you get Jizzle back, and Jizzle got back into the rhythm of things. But it's tough to say because they were just so bad at closing out games, scoring, getting stops, turning the ball over, rebounding. Like, there were many different ways that they lost close games that I just don't know that, like, it's as easy to account for as if a guy wasn't injured. It solves the problems that they had, because the problems that they had were massive problems, and there were multiple of them. So I would say 2 or 3. I don't think I could go above 3.
And some of the injury scenarios you would think maybe led to the ability for Baba Miller to rise to stardom, that he kind of forced his hand a little bit. Different things like that, like the whole Jizzle thing, like that was not an injury to begin the year. It was obviously a scenario that people know by now what happened there. I mean, you look at like simply BYU, what they lost Dawson Baker in December, like beginning of the year. He was supposed to be a starter / heavy rotational piece. They just lost Richie Saunders to a ACL. Like, teams are getting injured left and right. I mean, who the heck knows what's going on with Darren Peterson? I'll be interested to see if he's playing this Saturday. But the team would just be completely different in ways, I would think. So it's hard to forecast what wins would happen and what losses would take place. But I'd say at least 2, maybe 3, to answer the question full circle.
Yeah, I'm over, actually. I'm gonna say over, because I think on paper we all loved this team going when the roster was assembled, and I think that things kind of fell off a little bit in the offseason, and they've gotten things, at least for the time being, back on track a little bit.
Yeah, but like you still don't have a high level scoring guard if Jalen Haynes is never hurt throughout the entire year.
Unless Jizzle is that, if he plays the entire non-con and goes into conference play.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, but tournament team, I mean, we haven't. Whatever. All right, Ryan. Next question.
Who do you got as your who do you think is going to play the best at Kansas? And over the next 2 games, what do you think the total point differential is going to be for the Bearcats?
Wow.
You don't have to give like full score counts, but like,
I mean, Kansas
lose by 10
Kansas
games is -20.
It's so I think Kansas is like damn good. And then they went and get just demolished at Iowa State.
They got mommied.
Yeah, it's just.
Mommy.
I mean, like Flory Badunga is playing so damn good right now.
He was incredible against Arizona.
Yeah, like. So, like, what are you gonna say? Can Mustafa Cham just? I mean, Tiller versus Baba.
I would go
Peterson.
Baba. I mean, the hard part of figuring any of that out is still an offense that struggles to get out of its own way sometimes, and this is a really, really good Kansas defense.
Yeah,
they're really strong on the perimeter. They've got Flory and Tiller on the inside that make things tough. I mean, I guess I would say Baba. If Flory's on Cham, I think Baba could have his way with Bryson Tiller to an extent. I think the guards are going to have a tough time getting going against Kansas.
I think in order to win, you do need one of those crazy 3-point shooting games.
You do.
So
Yeah.
maybe Jalen Celestine.
Maybe
would
just
be the
14
answer.
or 15.
Right. Yeah, we don't need all the way to 16, but just like 14 or 15. So maybe a Celestine day where he hits like 5.
He's done it a couple times. It's not
the
out of
answer
the realm
might
of
be
possibility.
Jizzle. The answer might be Jizzle if he just has like 20, 23 points and is able to just kind of
5 of 8 from 3.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and you force Melvin Council to just like attempt a bunch of shots and not make a lot, and just hope that he has one of those bad games instead of a really good game. I don't know, but point differential. Well, Aaron, who do you have MVP of this Saturday for a win?
I think it's going to be Chom because I think they're going to be hyper focused on Baba. Baba's going to draw the double team and be able to dump off to Chom. And Chom's he does this thing where he puts several games together. I think going for 15 and 10 is the beginning of putting some things together. So I think it's going to be, honestly, I think Mustafa Chom is going to see Flory Badunga and raise up his game. We've seen him do that against competition at times. So I think that's going to be, it's going to be Mustafa Chom. He's going to ask for the ball, and we're going to see it.
He had 15 against UCF, and so yeah, maybe these weekend games just keep that 15-point streak just roll. But yeah, he's had 12.5 points per game in conference play. If you take out the Houston game at Houston where he got hurt, I mean he's pretty damn good when he gets the ball and within 15 feet and has that little hook that's pretty efficient. So I wouldn't mind seeing him continue it, no doubt about it. As far as point differential in the two games, I know Ken Pom predictor has them losing by 12 in both of them.
Oof.
So can point differential be under 20 for the two combined? I think yeah.
I think one of them stays fairly close. I think one of them gets away late. So I think it probably ends up over 20.
Okay.
I think the point differential is going to be single digits because I think they're going to shock the world and actually win one of those two games.
Oh, baby. Shock the
Man,
Sign me up.
It would be totally fitting of the Wes Miller era if they don't have a tournament quality resume, but they end the season with a home win over Iowa State and like a road win at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Like it would be so befitting of
And like
the what ifs of this era.
Home
yeah,
win.
when you and then lose the TCU and that blows.
Lose to Oklahoma State at home.
Yeah, Oklahoma State at home loss, beat BYU, and then lose at TCU.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, you're probably sniffing bubble with 14 losses.
Depending on the tournament.
Wes, the teaser Miller.
Ultimate.
Gives you just enough to keep you around.
Oh, yeah.
Sends you right to the curb, though.
Reminds me of my friend down in West Palm Beach. She's great. Anyway, all right. Next question, Ryan.
Brett, you want to segue us into our touch and tips part of the?
Yes. So Ryan, you called me earlier this weekend. You were like, dude, I'm just really trying to get into this whole Winter Olympics. Like, can you really just sprinkle me a little love of what I need to look out for? And I mentioned to you the quad god, Sadly, quad god was looking a little bit like the quad fraud out there. I mentioned the men's national hockey team. I said give USA a look. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride type scenario. Well, right now we're all the brides. We're all the brides out there. And then you mentioned curling. You said, hey, what is this whole Canada cheating and curling? The touching the stone after releasing the handle.
You can't double touch the stone.
Yeah, you can't do that, and all those scenarios. And so I guess we have to take a step back and say, what has been either your favorite Winter Olympic scenario this year, or what is a Winter Olympic sport that you enjoy watching that you want to see more of, or anything having to do with Winter Olympics? Because we are fully engaged in it right now, and things are rolling along as is. Winter Olympics thoughts, guys.
I'm all in on Team USA hockey. That's about all I'm tuning into. fully
Domination
invested.
on Sunday.
Yeah, fully invested. Can't wait for
Did Canada win today?
Probably if they won 10-2 the other day. I can't wait for that Canada-US game. That's going to be hopefully it's to finally win the gold for the first
Epic.
time in nearly 50 years.
Just some epicness out there. Yeah, I mean they're fun to watch. U.S. women's team is
They're killing.
So those are two big ones. Did you see the Quad God?
I don't even know what that is.
Aaron, Chad, have you guys heard of the Quad God?
No.
I've not watched a second of the Olympics.
Ilya Melaninin is his name. Yeah, he struggled. He was supposed to he's the guy that's doing like the flips out on the ice, the skater.
I
don't know. Well,
Okay.
I mean, he kind of had one of those like Simone Biles type things where he kind of just froze and struggled in his free skate. He was supposed to be like dominant. It was like a shoo-in victory. So he'll be one to watch for the 2030 Olympics to bounce back in the French Alps and pull out a big victory or wherever it is. So look out for him. Chad, Aaron, you guys are fully out on the Winter Olympics.
I just haven't had time. I'd like to have more time to, but the Olympics, a lot of it, you've got to consume a lot of it. You've got to okay, I'm going to watch this event to its completion. I'm going to watch this event to its completion. And I don't have a lot of time for it. One and two, I'm not winter sports out in the ice and snow is not really, I mean, what snowboard half pipe, maybe I could get behind.
Okay.
Some of the short track, snowboarding and skiing with 4 guys battling it out on a limited amount of space. That looks kind of cool. It's just not my thing. I'm more of a Summer Olympics guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I haven't had a chance to be dialed in.
Okay.
We all have so much bandwidth, and my bandwidth does not include Winter Olympics.
I hear you. I hear you. The I will say the whole entire curling is pretty electric. If you sit down and you watch a little curling match, you think it isn't, but it actually is. So, U.S. is actually pretty decent in it this year, after not really being very good. So, stay tuned for that the rest of the way. Would you guys rather skeleton or luge? That's a big question floating around.
Neither. That is for crazy people.
Well, if you had to pick,
neither.
Skeleton is head first, luge is feet first.
I guess luge, because I don't want to go down head first, because here's the thing. At some point in time, you're going to wreck. And it's going to fucking hurt. And I'm not interested in that.
That's why I'm more in for the luge, because if I'm going to wreck, take me out. I don't want to rehab. I don't want to just take me out.
Well, luge is feet first. You mean you just want to
whatever? Yeah, whatever. I'm going head first.
Skeleton is head first.
Oh, okay, fine, sure. Yes, that's the one I want, because I don't want to heal 200 of my bones. Ugh.
There was a guy, I don't remember who it was. Might have been the guy you were talking about. I don't know, Brent. That they won a gold medal. He had a gruesome injury, and they said, does the gold medal make up for the rehab and everything you went through? And the guy was like, no. I'm like, well, if the gold medal doesn't make up for it,
right?
What in the hell does? Why are you doing this? If you got hurt so bad, and then rehabbed and recovered and got back to a point where you're the best in the world, and that still wasn't worth the pain you went through,
right?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? 75 miles an hour on a sled, head first down a sheet of ice. Yeah. No.
Heavy, no, thank you.
No.
Although it's probably a bucket list thing for me. Just one time, Ryan Royer and I doubles luge. That would be a fun one. Google it if you haven't seen how they do that. It's quite the look. Bobsled will be fun to watch here in a bit. Just seems like you're just with your guys. Just the four of us on a bobsled team could be fun. Trying to get that.
I could probably handle bobsled, like you're in a thing that kind of covers you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'd feel like Chad and I were interrupting an intimate moment if we were all in a bobsled together.
No, it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. But no, yeah, I'm excited for that final, big hockey game. It is strange how there's so many more events in the Summer Olympics than there is in winter, and I don't know. It is strange, I guess the skiing and snowboarding, those are still going on, but speed skating's fun. But you got to lock into that too. So yeah, Winter Olympics. Cheer on USA. USA. I would love to be in the Olympic Village one year as well. That'd be a fun couple weeks, if you know what I mean.
We're about to get tip here, boys. Houston at Iowa State. Who do you got? I got Houston.
Man,
Hilton Magic. They've only lost once in like 3 years. It feels like Houston's only lost once in like 3 years.
Right.
Total.
Yeah. Houston's hitting on all cylinders, but golly, Iowa State looked so good on Saturday.
In a little bit of a funk.
So, but you're all still going Houston.
I think Houston, yeah.
Houston's got the big game again on Saturday against Arizona, right?
I think so, yeah.
If I'm not mixing them up. I mean, Houston's got like a gauntlet of like 3 straight games. Yeah, and then they play at Kansas next Monday. Jeez.
Yeah, they've got Iowa State, Arizona, and Kansas are their next 3. No biggie.
No biggie.
They come out of that unscathed. Just mark them in as the number 1 overall seed.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see
see
those coming out. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd say Iowa State pulls out. No, I'll give me Houston. After Kelvin Sampson says his big story about Mick Cronin Venmoing his son Kellen Sampson $1 after that whole brigade. So, and freaking Jeff Goodman trying to flash $100 bill out of his pocket. Oh, money bags McGee. Golly. All right. Well, go ahead and timestamp this, and we'll hop in that mailbag and watch that beautiful Big 12 game tonight.
Brought to you by Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009 and are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick, 513-470-2029, and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Quick shout out before we hop into the mailbag, because obviously the mailbag is brought to the man, the myth, the legend, who Chad's going to tell you about. But do we want to tease next week right now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Next week, we're going to have more football talk. Obviously, the combine invites, I teased that a little bit beginning. Jeff Caldwell, Joe Royer, Dante Corleone, Jake Golday. Gonna be fun to see what they put up, especially numbers wise for Caldwell and Golday. Gonna bounce off the page. So next week, little bit more talk with Nico Palazetti on the BBP. Ryan Royer with Nico Palazetti.
Hey, come on,
your family, your religion, Cincinnati football.
Nico Palazetti. So that'll be fun next week. We'll have more football talk, but for now, we're going to be diving into to the mailbag. And Chad, that's brought to you by
Greg Hooden. Go see Greg. You need a new car. You need a used car. Greg will get you taken care of at Cincy Greg Hooden on all the social media sites. He's here right now somewhere. He's been here. I know Greg's around. But he will get you taken care of at Cincy Greg Hooden on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it. Head to Beachmont Toyota and get yourself a new or maybe gently used Toyota. And Greg will be there to walk you through every step of the process to getting you into a brand new car. So, at Cincy Greg Hooden, hit him up. He will answer your questions. That's him. See, there he is. He will answer your questions and get you in a new ride.
All right. It's that time again. Let's hop in the mailbag. Start off in the football portion of the mailbag, and got one question. Thoughts on the Pac-12 flex schedule in the final week of the season? Every team knows if they will be home or away, but opponents will be matched up 6 days in advance based on what will benefit the conference the most. Would you favor something like this in the Big 12 to potentially improve teams' CFP ranking, break ties to determine championship game participation, and determine bowl eligibility by matching 2 5-win teams against one another? I think it would be a fun idea. Could it work?
Well, first off, you wouldn't put, if you're doing what's best for the conference, you wouldn't put 2 5-win teams against each other, right? You'd put a 5-win team against like a 1-win team. So you could get that 5th team, that team, as many teams as possible into a bowl game. So then you can make money off the bowl game. It goes into the distribution and it's spread out to the conference. Having 2 5-win teams against each other means one of them isn't going to make a bowl game. Same goes for the top of the conference. Like the strength of schedule, that shit doesn't matter anymore unless you're at the very, very cut line. Like, yeah, play the 11-win team gets to play the 3-win team. So they can pick up another win. Like, the Pac-12's in an entirely different situation. They're a group of 6 now, conference. So what they need is a lot different than what the Big 12 needs. I don't hate it, but if you're going to do it, look at it from a reality standpoint and not a standpoint of, oh, we need to have our 2 best teams play each other. So one of them gets a loss and by chance knocks themselves out of contention for a college football playoff spot.
Right.
Let's be honest with what we're doing here.
I've heard some sort of like scenarios of this on different podcasts and whatnot, like where like one is like you do like the regular season champion doesn't play in like the conference championship game or something, and then it's like
if they go to an even further expanded playoff with auto bids, that's what's going to happen. You don't need your number 1 team to play.
Right. And then you have like a squaring off of like the 2nd versus the 5th
and the third,
third versus the 4th. Yeah. Which in that case would make sense to bolster up their resumes for another at-large. But yeah, you don't want to harm like a really successful team that then all of a sudden they stub their toe down the stretch scenario. The name of the game is getting more teams into the playoff for your conference. So
with these larger conferences, though, and it not being so regional anymore, whoever the home team is, how much money are you losing by having a team not announced until 6 days prior that's going to have to try and get fans to travel?
They said that it would already be set who plays home and who plays away that week.
Right. But the away team that is normally coming in and traveling and staying in your hotels and going, I mean,
yeah, for a regular season game, you're not making that much money off a couple hundred at best fans visiting from the other school.
In these smaller conferences, yes. If it was a larger conference where you have teams that do travel heavy,
Aaron, you've got to pay for potentially a playoff bowl, a conference championship game, and then a playoff bowl, and then another playoff bowl, and then another playoff bowl. Like, you might have 4 trips to take after this game happens. I just don't think fans are traveling that much anymore. Not like they used to.
Well, that's, again, because it's not a regional thing anymore. You don't have regional conferences anymore as you used to.
Yeah,
you have
so then you don't have
teams,
to worry about it.
Teams from California having to go all the way to Indiana. So
Mick loved it. Mick loves going.
We heard all about it.
He's a big fan.
So Iowa State's up 13-5. Wow.
They're on fire right now to start.
Hilton Magic, baby. All right. Next question.
All right. That ends the football portion of the mailbag. Moving on to the basketball portion of the mailbag. The coaching rumors are happening. What would be your top 3 requirements or wants for an incoming coach?
History of winning. Winning on their resume. Of course, that's what you're going to get if you're hiring a new guy from a mid-major or whatever. They're going to have to win at a high level. I want to see balance. I want to see a guy that doesn't have a wide disparity between what their best on one side looks like compared to their best on the other. Because in order to be great in this league, it is very difficult to do it with one side significantly better than the other. You need to be a top 30 team in offense and defense, top 50 team in offense and defense, to really be able to constitute a high level of success in this league. That's really my biggest thing. And then I don't know how much you know of this before you hire a guy, but they got to be able to raise money. They got to be willing to go out and stand on tables and kiss babies. Well, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. They got to be able to. They've got to be able to sell the program.
The list has been updated.
The list is updated. Yeah. They've got to be able to get donors on board with being there for money over the rev share. And how they handle that is going to be super important.
Yeah.
I would say,
go ahead.
I would say offensive identity. I would say defensive prowess. And I would say a guy who can identify recruits to fit into what it is he's trying to do rather than just gather all the shiny pieces.
It's a big part of it, but boy, a bunch of non-shiny pieces in this league is going to get your ass kicked. Yeah. So while I agree, like the string of AJ Devances and Darren Petersons and Flory Badungas and, Kingston Flemings and Chris Sinak, that's not going away. You're not going to beat those dudes if you're not able to go get some elite talent to go with guys that are capable of running your system.
Yeah, and your 3 points, Chad. I mean, Wes, great fundraiser, great, ability to do that.
There's a huge disparity in his offense and defense. They're always
exactly. That's going to be what I was going to say. The consistency of winning. I mean, you look at Schertz and Calhoun. Those are the 2 juicy names that everyone's mentioning, and you see them getting better year after year, winning more year after year, starting the season off at a certain level and then getting better as the year wears on, almost every single year that they've been coaches at different levels. So I do want to see some more offense, man. Obviously I guess you could say that Brandon was an offensive first coach, but I mean, that was what it was. It would be refreshing to see that more of a balance towards the offensive side of things after just countless years of it being defense first. So I agree with definitely the balance part, but right now it is more about fundraising, ability to gather NIL, ability to get a boost behind you needed to attain the high level talent needed to win. So
you want to hear something crazy, Brent?
What you got?
John Brandon, his 2 Cincinnati teams.
Yeah.
The defense rated higher than the offense.
Well, yes.
Year 1, 90 on defense, 148 on offense. Year 2, it was close. 51 on defense and 59 on offense. But yeah, I mean, he had an offensive identity coming in, but his defense ended up being better than his offense both times.
Well, but I mean, that year 1, he had holdovers from Mick that would help the offense and defense quite a lot, which, obviously Trey and Jaron and Keith, but yeah, interesting. Gosh, second year. Don't want to talk about that.
Anything to add, Ryan? What you would be looking for
I'm just
as
yeah.
somebody who's had a
if you're
college
gonna,
coach?
yeah, you gotta. You guys are kind of hitting on it. You got to take a mid-major guy that's getting better every year. He's hitting his stride. So what he's implementing is working consistently and not just having like one or two good years and you kind of see a little bit of a drop off, but also kind of reiterating the offensive creativity. I think that's been lacking, and we need a winner. We need a winner that's going to bring in a winning culture. It's all about winning on the court and not as much as winning in NIL, winning in recruiting. Obviously, that's important, but we can't. We kind of saw we've been seeing the effect of 5 years of sweet talk in the off season not translating to winning. So a born winner, a guy who loves basketball, who loves winning and keeps winning consistently and getting better through having good technical abilities on the bench.
All right. We'll keep it moving. When was the last time the Bearcats had two 1,000-point scoring guards starting and playing at the same time where 100% of their career points came as a Bearcat? Fast fact, Jizzle James is at 954 points and Day Thomas is at 976 points. Likely both hit 1,000 within the next 4 games or so.
I think it was 1996 is what somebody said.
That's incorrect.
Is it?
Yep.
What's the answer?
It was the 2017-18 season. Jacob Evans and Gary Clark both had 1,000 points on the same.
Gary Clark was not a guard.
Gary wasn't a guard.
It says guard.
Yeah, guard.
Yeah.
I missed the guard part. But yeah, the last time that had two players that had 1,000 points ever started their career with the Bearcats.
That's a different question.
Two guards. Let's see here. Guards. Yeah, that would not be the case here. No. Oh man. It might be 96 then. But yeah. So guards, sure. Go ahead. Take it away.
All right.
Would 96 would have been what? Burton and Flint?
The gunslinger.
Yeah.
96, 97. Burton was definitely there. Wow. I didn't realize Burton finished with 1,500 points in his career. It's a lot of points. His sophomore year was better than I remember, I guess. Burton, yes. Flint.
Yeah, Flint did.
In 95, but would he have had it by 96, 97? Yeah, 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Yep, they were both seniors. They both had 1,000 points. So I believe that is the correct answer. Darnell Burton and Damon Flint, 1996-97 season.
Yeah. How about that?
It wouldn't have been 92, Crip, because Nick was JUCO. So he would not have had 1,000 points at UC by that point. And I don't think anybody else would have.
Wow. So I thought I was really finding the crumb there. That was pretty fun. But it is funny because what was it? It was like 3 years ago when it was like Landers, David, there was like 5 different guys that scored their 1,000 point, but all were
they didn't
different.
do it all here.
Right. So it's just the day and age of college basketball, man.
All right. Over the last 3 seasons against Big 12 competition, it often feels like our guards look noticeably smaller in the head-to-head matchups. Has the size difference at the guard position been a significant issue during the Wes Miller era?
Maybe. I don't think it's size as much as it's play style. Like,
You haven't had a 2, so yeah, and by default, you haven't had a guard the size of a 2 across the league because you haven't had a 2.
yeah. But I don't think it's been a hindrance because of their size. Like size would come in more frequently, like defense. I don't think there's been any defensive deficiencies with those two guys, really. Jizzle maybe when he was a freshman, but I don't think their height has hindered them as scorers. I think they just don't play in a way that's conducive to, there's plenty of guys out there that are 6'1", 6'2", that draw a lot of fouls to get to the free throw line. Those two guys, that's just not how they play. So I maybe a little bit, but I don't think anything significant to where it's like they're not where they want to be because those two guys aren't tall enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
what, 2 years ago or no, 3 years ago, it was Day starting with Newman.
John was more of a 3.
Well, I mean, and then it was CMOS and then Aziz and Victor Locken. So that was when were going like jumbo. 37
Yeah.
starts for Newman, 35 starts for Day. So, I mean, they haven't been short, two short guards. I guess you'd say 4 out of the 5 years. But no, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily too crazy of a differential being why. Like, it's not like the Big 12 is loaded with super tall guards.
No.
I mean, hell, last year we were talking about how, Iowa State's got 3 pretty short guards that were just all over the place. Same with Houston. They didn't have Uzan was 6'3", 6'4", but nothing crazy. Yeah, I want to keep diving into that. Steve Logan, but they would say Stokes was a forward, not a guard, is what people would say, probably a wing.
All right, keep it moving. Of all the basketball games you've covered, which one stands out as your all-time favorite? I don't cover basketball. Brian doesn't cover basketball, so we're both out. This is you and Chad.
You do cover basketball. What are you talking about?
Not there in person.
But you talk about it.
Sure, but I mean, I'm not there.
That's
in
covering.
person.
That's covering the basketball.
I guess.
I get what Aaron's saying. Like, his answer is going to be different. He's not in the arena,
Yeah.
like feeling the energy,
right.
vibing off of it.
Yep.
I think for me in my time doing this, it's probably pretty easy. Well, I have two. Can you guess what they are, Brent?
Well, can you give me a hint? Was I there for any of them with you?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
No.
So then would be the crosstown shootout when Jaren daddied JP McCarroll.
That would probably be number 3.
Okay. Did you go to the AAC tournament at all?
Yes, but this is not. I don't think either of my 2 would be AAC tournament games. The
Okay.
Jaren AAC tournament game against Houston might be number 4 on this list.
Okay. I would say probably
one was a road game.
One was a road game. Did you go to Wichita?
No.
I mean, are we just talking wins here, or I mean, Fog Allen, Kansas?
They are both wins. Fog Allen wasn't because of the game; it was just more being at Fog Allen.
Right. One was a road game.
This should be easy. Come on.
I mean, the win at Wichita was.
You're not going back quite far enough.
Okay. SK 2K game.
Sean at Louisville.
Yeah, Sean at Louisville.
The game at Louisville was incredible.
That game was
incredible. And then the other one would be Troy, Purdue, NCAA tournament.
Okay, yeah.
Well, man, that one or the Texas game or the Florida State game. Sorry, the Florida State game was incredible.
Oh yeah.
The drama and the
Yeah,
suspense in that game. Actually, that's number one.
Okay.
That's number one because I'll tell you this immediately upon arrival at that arena and walking out and seeing that Florida State team, who I think their smallest starter was 6'5", and they had 2 7-footers that played together. Like that looked like being courtside for an NBA game, the size that they had.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati had Jaquan Parker at the 4. And it was like, how in the hell physically are they going to survive? And Jaquan Parker was playing against a guy that like killed people in Iraq.
Right.
That was like 6'8", 240 pounds.
And he was like almost 30.
So that's probably number one. Now that I really like dig back, that win was incredible. Incredible. Yeah. And I know we think of that game as like the Deion Dixon steal iced it. That game lasted another 30 minutes. I swear to God, go watch it on YouTube. There is at least 20 minutes after that Deion steal and dunk in real time. That end of that game took forever. I wasn't at the Duke game, and that was in Alaska, Crypt Keeper. It was Alaska. I wasn't at that game. Talking about games I was personally at to witness, seeing that team knock off that Florida State team who had just won, I believe they won the ACC regular season and conference tournament, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they were riding high. They were the hot team to pick.
So, yeah, that was awesome. That's number one.
Okay.
And if I would have been at the Syracuse game at the Garden, that might have been number one.
Oh, that was, man, I cried real tears watching that game. The post-game press conference with Yancey and Mick.
Yeah.
Those are all great games. Gosh.
Oh, by the way, Brent,
we're a good team.
26-21 Houston now.
Okay.
9 minutes left in the first half. This is incredible high-level basketball.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. But quickly, the ones that since I've been covering, that I was there in person for, obviously last year, Crosstown Shootout, just finally getting over the hump and beating that team. Obviously the ending with them coming back and almost hitting that 3. Closing it out that way, but still an awesome victory to finally shut them down. Quickly again, the Georgia Tech game, when Aziz got cleared, like, do you remember that, Chad? That was just like, we were all thinking like, oh man, we're about to be legit, because Aziz like checked in immediately, got an alley-oop dunk and a block shot, and you're like, oh baby, we're live, let's go. And then of course I'd say probably the best, like, craziest atmosphere was the last time we beat Houston, when John Brannon was the coach, and that was the Dejan Giroux biting Mamadou Diarra on the leg.
Unreal.
Just awesome. That pass from Jaron Cumberland to Keith Williams, where Keith dunked it, probably the best pass I've seen in person in any basketball game. That was an unbelievable atmosphere, that game. So, and that was like right before a global pandemic shut down the entire world. So just the vibes were immaculate. Just a handful of fun ones that I was there covering.
Well, like I said, I don't go to the games anymore. When I was going to the games, I was there as a fan, not as somebody covering them for this. So I'll go with the low-hanging fruit. Cincinnati beats Xavier in 24 at Fifth Third. That was easy. So other than that, having to watch the games from home, I guess you could say Mouse in the House was a fun one to watch.
Gosh, that was a horrible one to watch.
That was one of the most amazing productions I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. And like, why on earth are we playing at Howard? Like that game just pissed me off. The whole
One of the most amazing productions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mainly because St. Louis had agreed. Well, they were going to UC was going to go play at St. Louis to get a better resume game, and St. Louis backed out. So even more reason to take Josh Schertz from St. Louis.
They go home and home with freaking Howard. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Next question.
All right, that was a long time we spent on that one. We haven't spent that much time on a question
Because
in a while.
nostalgia is fun.
That was aggressive. Any reason why the basketball team doesn't wear the red uniforms anymore?
I'm guessing they will wear them senior day. It's a red out. Generally, they only break out the red for red outs. Unless they wear them for a red out and they win, and then you might see them like come back because the players like request them or whatever. But generally, those are saved for the Ring of Red game or whatever you want to call it. So that game is BYU senior day.
There we go.
I imagine if you're having fun and doing flashy things, maybe you see more red, but this season you haven't really been having a whole lot of fun.
No.
We'll see.
If there's a coaching change that happens during the offseason, how likely would it be that the Monster Factory stays in Cincinnati?
Hard to say. That's up to the coach. I will say it's a little different in basketball than football. In football, that is kind of
your guy,
right-hand man. That is not generally the case in basketball. You just try to get the best guy you can. There's very few out there better than Mike Rayfelt. So I think they're, just if you have a coach that has his guy, then he's probably going to bring his guy. But if not, I would imagine, there would be a lot of people in the building letting him know. And then a lot, people know how good Mike is. Like, there's been multiple great coaches. Mick Cronin swears by Mike Rayfeld. Danny Hurley swears by Mike Rayfeld. Wes swears by Mike Rayfeld. Like, everybody that's worked with him has had effervescent praise for Mike Rayfeld. So I couldn't give you an answer. There is a chance. It's just a matter of who you hire and what that person has in place.
All right. Well, that ends the basketball portion of the mailbag. Oh, no, I lied. One more. Do you think Kansas State jumping into the coaching market publicly at this point impacts Cincinnati's potential replacement process?
Not really, because that is a giant shit show. And I don't know how many coaches that have options are going to look at that and go, I want to be there. And it's insane because ultimately, like, that is potentially a great job. They have incredible support. They spend a ton of money on their roster. They obviously pay their coach incredibly well. And they have self-inflicted a reason for coaches and agents to go, this place is going to try to screw me. If it doesn't work, they're going to try to screw me out of $18 million. I've got other options. Like, I don't have to do that because I don't have to do it. Like, I can go somewhere else that I know they're not going to put me in that type of situation. And especially to try to do it behind the guise of that press conference, which, I mean, come on, guys. Like, that was not anything. Like, I've sat through 20 Mick Cronin press conferences that were far worse than anything Jerome Tang said last Wednesday night.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Yeah, it's like a lot of people are supporting Tang and saying like he did nothing wrong. So it's
he was coaching. Right. Yeah. He was coaching in that moment. That was just coaching.
Right. It's just a black eye on the Kansas State side of things. But you know what? In their fans' eyes, they're going for Tommy Lloyd and Dusty May. So I don't think Cincinnati is really knocking on those doors. So
for the record, what you said was black eye. I want to make sure that it is recognized that you
I
said black.
had a second take.
I did too, which is why I wanted to make sure that it was clear. You said black eye on Kansas State.
Yeah.
Okay.
A black eye on
We're good
Kansas State.
We're good here. Moving on.
All right. Interesting. Anyway, but it is funny though, because like the first thing mentioned last night when they were like potential, fill-ins for Kansas State, the shirts was brought up immediately.
Of course.
And
the two Shirts and Calhoun are the two names this year.
Right.
So
it's going to be
every
brought
job
up
that opens.
time.
And look, if Kansas State would have just waited till the end of the year, fired Jerome Tang, paid that man his money, they probably would have been as desirable a job for any because of how they operate. Like, I mean, last year, all the conversation was that Kansas State went out and spent $2.5 million on a guy at the end of the cycle, and that they were funding their roster right there with the best of the best in the Big 12. And they did it again this year. That's an expensive roster. They paid a shit ton of money for PJ Haggerty. Yep. So, like, the support is there, the money is there, the contract was there. Everything lined up if they were going to go into this cycle for them to be a really, really strong player in what's supposed to be a pretty down coaching market. And they fucked it up by what they're trying to pull right now.
All right, that ends the basketball portion of the mailbag. On that note, moving on to the baseball portion of the mailbag. We got a couple questions here, boys. The Bearcats won 32 games in 24, 33 games in 25. With the upgraded pitching, do they get to the magical 40-win mark this year? Fast fact, Jordan Bischel has won 40-plus games, not once, not twice, but 4 other times in his coaching career.
I'll say no, like 38, 37, 38.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 40's a lot, man. Especially he won 40 games at lower levels where he had the superior team. I don't know that I'm going to look at this. I think if you get to 40, you're considering Cincinnati like the favorites to win the Big 12.
Yeah.
And, I'm not ready to go there yet, as much as we love Jordan Bischel. I think mid to upper 30s this year. And maybe as he keeps building, that 40 is in sight, but I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, I think it remains elusive. And it's not because you drop one of a 3-game series to Jacksonville State, but I just think that they're not quite there yet. I think if you ask Jordan Bischel in a candid conversation off camera, I think he might actually tell you the same, that the roster is the best roster he's had, but not yet quite where he wants it to be.
All the way.
I would say that, like, seemingly it's a somewhat easier non-con. I think that was the gist that people were trying to make a little bit during the off season. So maybe you pick up a handful of more wins there. So you do get closer to that 40 mark. I'll just to say it, sure. I do think they hit that magical 40-win mark. There you go. Roll baseball.
You would. Any thoughts on a BCJ tailgate for a baseball game this year?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'd have to look and try to figure out when the schedule works out for me and see what happens in March. Because if anything does happen in March, then Chad's going to be locked in his office on his phone for however many days that takes. Possibly. I'll look into it. UC 50 Cats. And if not a tailgate, maybe a like meet at Mio's before a game. And then everybody walk over and catch a game. I think that might be, much more of a potential possibility where we could do something. But if my schedule works out, I would love to do that. Partnership with Republic of Cincinnati. I know, folks. Me too, Jared. Me too. Those are all my guys.
that ends the basketball portion of the mailbag the baseball portion. Because it's his podcast and he asked this question way earlier in the chat. This fits in the banks. But Greg Hooden in the chat asked, off topic, tomorrow is both Mardi Gras and the Lunar New Year. Which are you more likely to celebrate?
Mardi Gras, easy for me. Mardi Gras 2000 was the first night I ever hung out with Kelly. It was in Main Strauss in Covington. It was an absolute rager to the point that they shut down doing Mardi Gras in Covington for like 2 decades. After that, that was the first night Kelly and I hung out. Started a wonderful 23-year relationship. So I'll absolutely go Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah.
And I love Cajun food.
You put it beautifully there, Chad. Definitely Mardi Gras is the answer here. I love New Orleans, by the way. What a hell of a city that is.
It is something.
Team Mardi Gras as well.
Team Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday.
People
baby.
celebrate the Lunar New Year?
What do you do to celebrate the Lunar New Year?
Certain cultures.
Do you
probably.
moon people?
Certain cultures, I would imagine. But
Stand out and stare at the moon.
Mardi Gras.
Do you touch tips? Is that what you do to celebrate the Lunar New Year?
Oh, man.
Some might.
Hey,
We just can't get away from it.
knock on my door.
It's called a callback, Aaron.
Brent, I got a new so every time we segue to your question that you like to bring up, it's the tip touching topic.
I like that. Tip top and top of the tape.
Unbelievable. Favorite Robert Duvall movie?
4 Christmases.
The Godfather.
The Godfather. That's the easiest. That's the low hanging fruit there.
Kicking and screaming.
I mean, you know how old that guy was? He was in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I know.
Like that was in the 60s.
He's like one of those actors where I know his face, but then I looked up his filmography and it's like, wait a minute. So I really haven't seen a lot of movies that he's in. Like, I guess it's just like an extra, if you will, like Gone in 60 Seconds and, different ones like that.
4 Christmases.
Yeah. Kicking and screaming.
John Q.
John Q, yeah.
Apocalypse Now, that's a banger.
Yeah.
Deep Impact.
But the answer is The Godfather.
Right.
Agreed. Sling Blade, mash fried taters. And the last question here in the mailbag: what did you buy that was probably the biggest waste of money that you regret? My first wedding.
Oh,
Our house in Newport. That was a money pit. That was a rough one.
I bought like $1,000 worth of iTunes right before they launched the streaming service. Like the year.
Aaron's like,
before.
I'm set forever. I am set forever. I got all the songs I'm ever gonna want to listen to.
And then they're like, you can pay $10 a month and have all of these songs streaming for free. And I'm like, you sons of bitches, you
Aaron.
Oh man.
It's a good one. I mean, like, I've had some nights out where you just wake up the next morning and you're like, shoot.
Football season tickets during the Tuberville years. Hey, Jared, go to hell.
Get a job.
No regrets ever when I spend money. I'll just say that. But oh boy, I've spent.
Let's gear this question for Brent, Aaron. What are the 3 worst bets that you've ever made in your life?
I mean, oh boy. You guys are making me want to fall asleep crying tonight. There were some bad weeks. Boy, college football was not kind to me in 2022. I'll say that much. But you guys remember that road game? You guys remember that road game? Cincinnati. I'll keep it Cincinnati centric. The road game at Ohio State football. You were on the
Chris
team.
Moore
Warrior.
game?
Yep.
No, not the Chris Moore game.
Okay,
The-
the Royer game.
42-6.
Dude.
Desmond
So
Ritter's injury game.
It was 17 and a half, and I was like, I'm kind of feeling the vibe here. Bearcats, baby. I'm up in the press box, and it's just live after live after live after live, and I'm like, we got to be able to cover this. And then I remember Tion Thomas like stretched the ball over the goal line, and he ended up fumbling it. And I was like, I think he crossed the plane. I was like, we got to challenge that. Like, someone call a timeout. They got to look at that. And then I was like, they're gonna look at this. They're down 35-0. Oh, it was horrible. Ryan, you guys couldn't score one damn touchdown for me.
Yep, that was a toughie.
Absolutely horrible. Those are the worst ones when you just keep going live and live and live and live.
Doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down.
Another
You
one.
never hit anything.
I accidentally put a live bet on a money line, and I thought it was the spread. And I texted my bookie, and I was like, "Yo, I thought that was a spread." And he was like, "Oh, I think you're good." And it was like a UCF game, and UCF lost on some BS, and that was a bad one. That was really bad.
He was like, "Tough break, bro."
Sorry
about that.
I was like, dude, come on, man. Yeah. And anyway, no, let's just walk away from that. Maybe
That's
some mornings where you order $100 of Taco Bell and then you fall asleep and you wake up and it's on your front porch and you're like, ah, shit.
Yep.
What if you ever ordered breakfast, completely forgot that you ordered dinner late night, and then the breakfast is delivered and the Taco Bell bag is still there?
Yeah. Yes. That has happened.
His parents are still mad at him for that one.
Lord knows about it. What about you, Ryan? What's
Probably I got an Apple Watch and then I forgot it was on my wrist, and I was at Norris Lake, Tennessee, jumped off the dock, rose back to the surface without an Apple Watch. And yeah, that was about $300 immediately gone.
Quick flush down the toilet.
At least it wasn't $100,000+ house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't quite made that bad buy yet, but
well,
I don't
it
know.
was they remodeled it, and then we found out that they Newport remodeled it.
Duct tape and
yeah, it was not remodeled to the level that it looked when we purchased it.
Live and learn, baby. That's all it is. And living and learning is how you go from 3 straight wins and then a loss to maybe 3 straight wins and a win. Live and learn, right there.
Yeah. By the way, Wednesday night BCJ pod, we will have Pete Thomas joining us as well. So Pete Thomas Wednesday, Nico Monday, and then I think maybe Court Braswell next Wednesday.
Oh, I like this. I'm liking the flow.
We're getting us ready. We're getting geared up for spring ball, which I'm excited about. I think first practice sometime in early March. I'd have to look. Usually it's the week before spring break. So whenever spring break falls, which is, I think, from looking at the schedule, the 16th, 15th, 16th, something like that is the start of spring break. So I think that second week of March is potentially, if I'm doing the math right, is the start of spring football.
There we go. So in the midst of basketball season, we're bringing you football coverage. Of course, lock in. We've got all that fun stuff. So, Aaron, that's the mailbag, right?
Yeah, get us out of here.
All right, I will. Guys, 3 straight wins, a chance at 4 this Saturday, bye week, get them healthy, maybe a return to Shana Bayev. A fully healthy team going into Fog Island Fieldhouse. Whoa, let's roll the dice out, see what happens. Yes. So, guys, shouts to Greg Hood, the man. Shouts to Cincy Light. Shouts to Quick Paper Supply. Shouts to Danco Transmission Auto Care. And shouts to Ryan Royer, my man, the absolute myth, the absolute legend, best friend, Ryan Royer. So, guys, that's beautiful Mondays. Big game this weekend. Stay locked in. Bearcat Journal. As Chad mentioned, big guest on Wednesday as well. So without further ado, for my guys, for the crew, for the squad, For Aaron Smith, for Chad Brendel, for Ryan Royer, I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See